Hello, hello, hello. All right, it is Wednesday today, and we are going to be doing a Metta yoga practice today, which may be a completely new term for you guys, and it's actually an invitation to Metta practice versus a Metta practice. I'm going to give it a few minutes before I talk more about what that is, just so that if anyone's jumping on, they have a little bit of time to get to your mat. So we'll talk a little bit more about Metta in a second. And in the meantime, just a little bit of sharing today. I came across some information today from Brene Brown on processing grief, which I found very, very interesting. I love Brene Brown for her research in vulnerability and shame and guilt and the work that she does. And on my path currently, processing grief, I guess, is a new thing. So the interesting point that I want to make was when I was listening to this podcast, the gentleman on her podcast, I forget his name right now, so please forgive me. He was talking about how right now a lot of people are experiencing grief because it's not necessarily about a death, which it definitely can be, but it's a loss of something. And so for right now, a lot of us are experiencing loss of control, loss of jobs, loss of normalcy in our life. Just lots of different things are being shaken up and changed right now. So not that I want to lay this on heavily at the beginning of our practice, but what I would like to do is I would like to invite you, if you're watching, if you're jumping on later, to do a Metta practice tonight. And a Metta practice is, if this is something new to you, where you dedicate your intention for your practice to someone who is going through a challenging or a hard time. And if you're going through a hard time, feel free to keep your intention for yourself and let your practice be what it needs to be for you. That's why you're here. And the Metta practice is about selfless love and kindness energetically out into the world. So if you have someone that you would like to dedicate your practice to, a couple someones that you'd like to dedicate, or a group of someones, feel free to allow this practice to be intentionally you receiving and you doing the work that you need to do, that you came for today, but putting out love and kindness to anyone who is going through a hard time right now. So that is going to be our Metta practice. And we will go ahead and we'll get started. We'll be working a little bit in the lower body today, a little bit of heart opening as well. And then maybe anything else that I decide, it'll just come through. So go ahead and get yourself comfortably seated on your mat. I always like to start our practices out with breath, so that way, wherever you're coming in from, if you're a few minutes late, you don't miss anything. This allows you to really get to your mat, settle in, and get ready for your practice. So I'll meet you back on the mat. You can allow your hands to comfortably come to your knees. If your palms are facing down, this will give you a little bit more grounding. If you go ahead and flip your palms up, this will give you a little bit more energy or allow you to receive. Maybe take a mudra if you like. Your thumb and your forefinger can come together and make the okay symbol, because everything is okay. Let your spine elongate upward as you root down into the ground. Stretch your head towards the sky. Allow your shoulders to melt down and away from your ears. A little bit of space and movement in your neck. And then simply allow your eyes to fall to a close while you notice your breath. And as you notice your breath, take a few moments to pay attention to the sound and the feel and the texture, the length. Notice as much as you can about your breath as it enters your body and as it exits your body. Moving your focus from your mind into your heart space. Let your breath guide you inside. Maybe noticing for your first time today what it's like to just be in this stillness, this quiet place, this softness with your breath. We're going to travel through our body with our breath today, allowing our breath to be an adventure. We'll use it to explore some different areas, to open up some different muscle groups, and allow you to get closer to some of your edges. So whatever it is you're looking to open or release today, allow your breath to become friends with your body, creating trust, and allow your body to open right into the space that you're looking to go. If you'd like to continue with this regular normal breathing, you can go ahead and stay right here. Otherwise, allow one hand to come to your belly, and we'll begin to do our belly breathing. So with our belly breathing, our inhale, our belly is going to rise and inflate like a balloon. And as we exhale, our belly button is going to fall back towards our spine, coming in and up just a little ways. So as you inhale, your hand is going to rise away. And as you exhale, your hand is going to fall. Notice the length of the inhale and the exhale. Try to elongate the length of the inhale and exhale when you can. Maybe pushing yourself just a little bit to what's uncomfortable, allowing yourself to get there slowly. So if you start with a 3-count breath, maybe you move into a 4 or a 5-count breath. If you have a pretty big lung capacity and you do breath work pretty regularly, maybe you're upper on the 6, 7, 8 counts. So just allow yourself to explore what it's like to take a long, full, expansive inhale, really filling your body all the way up. And then as you exhale, all the air to empty back out at that same length and smoothness as the inhale took it in. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, inflate. Exhale, deflate. Inhale. Allow yourself to create some expansion horizontally and vertically with your breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to find a space of surrender where you can sink a little deeper into your mat, feel grounded, rooted, strong in your foundation. Maybe even a place to just release anything that's coming up. Continue to inhale, allowing your belly to rise and fall. If you'd like to add a variation into this breath, as you inhale, pause at the top. And as you exhale, pause at the bottom. Let's take about 3 more rounds of breath wherever you're at, keeping your inhales and your exhales equal in length. Adding the pause if you choose. Allowing the mind to clear, creating some space. When you're ready, begin to return back to your normal breath. Allowing yourself to notice where you have come from to where you are right now in your practice. Maybe you've released something, opened something, allowed yourself to be quiet and still. Celebrate the win for where it is and honor yourself for where you're at. We'll take the next few moments to go ahead and either set your intention if you'd like to keep your practice as your own today, or if you did want to try the Metta practice, you can go ahead and think of one or more people or a group of people that you would like to dedicate your yoga practice to this evening, which is our Metta practice. And this is all about sending love and kindness out to those who are challenged, suffering, having a hard time right now. Just by us taking this time to go inside for ourselves and be that love and that kindness that they might be seeking, searching for, or looking for today. So it's definitely an energetic thing. So allow yourself to do the practice the way you need to, but it's an option to go ahead and incorporate that in. Taking the next moment, allow yourself to think of one or more things that you're grateful for today. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to slowly begin to blink your eyes back open to the space as we prepare to move into our seated warm-up. All right, we'll inhale, our arms will come all the way up. Exhale, right hand to right side. Inhale your left arm up, reaching tall. As you exhale, tip over to your right side. You have a slight bend in your elbow, or maybe you take your elbow all the way down to the floor. Keeping both hips rooted into the mat, very important. Allow yourself to take the variation that feels good for you, pushing your left rib cage out to the left side. Rolling your left shoulder behind you, opening your chest. And remembering to breathe into your belly. Inhale, belly inflates. Exhale, belly deflates. Your next inhale, bring your arms back all the way up, reaching tall. Exhale, left hand down. Right hand reaches tall as you tip over to your left hand side. Opening up your chest. Maybe you have that bend in your elbow. Breathing deeply into your belly, creating a bit more space. The warmer we get, the more we move, the easier it is for our air to travel throughout our body. Noticing specifically today in my body, I'm feeling a little bit more stiff, a little bit tighter. So just allow yourself to notice where you're at. Every day is going to be a little different. Inhale back to center, taking it to a twist. Our left hand is to our right knee, our right hand behind our hips, lengthening through our spine. Exhale, twist over to your right hand side. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, maybe you twist deeper, maybe you stay. Your next inhale, we can be back at center, rise up, right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left hand side. Inhale to create space. Exhale to twist a little deeper. Allowing your belly to rise on your inhale and fall on your exhale. Inhaling your arms back up center. Fold hands down to meet the earth. Coming down, letting your head relax, maybe shaking side. Again, keeping both hip bones rooted on the earth. So if you feel like your hips are coming off the ground, walk your hands a little closer back towards your feet. Maybe you have a bend in your elbows, resting on the ground. Maybe your arms are stretched out long. Kind of feel it out in your body and see where you want to open. All of this is our back body, our hips, our glutes, hamstrings, legs. Remembering to inhale into your belly and exhale, let your belly come back towards your spine, maybe surrendering and sinking a little deeper than you were. Allow each exhale to be a micro movement of surrender, where maybe you go just a little closer to your edge. Your next inhale, your hands can walk you back up to seated, bringing the hands now behind the hips, fingertips pointing towards the top of the mat. We're going to draw our shoulders down and back, pull our chest through and lift, allowing your chin to stay either in a neutral position or you can go ahead and tip it up towards the ceiling. Opening your chest and shoulders here. Connecting back into your belly, breathing in. Inhaling the chin back to your chest. Walking your hands forward, we're going to uncross our legs and take the opposite cross. So whatever foot is in front, bring it behind. Resituate, reach tall. Exhale, fold and surrender, meeting the earth. Inhale to create space. Exhale to release. Inhale, love. Exhale, kindness. If you decided to dedicate your practice to someone, go ahead and take just a few moments to send them a little bit of love, a little bit of kindness, allowing yourself to surrender a little bit more into your mat. Our next inhale, we'll begin to walk back to our center, placing the hands behind once again, opening up our chest, shoulders coming down and back, lifting up through the chest, allowing your chin to come up towards the sky if that feels good, or you can stay in a neutral head position. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale your chin back to your chest. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Moving into hands in front, come up onto all fours, however you need to get there. And a little bit here with some cat-cow movements. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Tops of the feet making contact with your mat. As you inhale, your belly button is going to go down towards the floor, and your spine, your tailbone and your head are going to come up towards the sky, creating a U shape in your back. As you exhale, you're going to push the floor away, arching your back, looking up towards your belly button. Inhale, coming back down. Exhale. Allow your breath to go at your pace here. Maybe you're going a little bit slower, taking a few breaths in each position. Maybe you're going a little bit quicker. So allow your breath to guide you into your body right now at this time as we are still warming up. Let's take 2 more rounds wherever you're at. After your second inhale, allow yourself to come back into a neutral spine. Turn your hands, fingertips pointing towards your knees. And we're going to do a little bit of wrist stretching. If this is too much or doesn't feel good, you can also sit back towards your knees and do one hand at a time. So allow yourself to gently explore what your body is asking for or needing. Or maybe you have both hands here and you can work your tailbone towards your heels. Opening up the wrists and the forearms. Allowing your breath to stay in your belly. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Turning your hands back towards the front, fingertips to the top of the mat. We're going to now place the tops of our hands down on the mat. Again, if both hands are too much, allow yourself to sit back towards your heels and do one hand at a time. Opening up in front of our forearm here. If you have any wrist injuries or sensitivities or just overwork, one at a time is definitely good. If you want to try both, maybe don't put all of your weight on. This can be a pretty intense stretch. And also move your fingers closer to your knees. It takes a little bit of the pressure off. Inhale, belly rises, creating space within. And as it exhales, it empties out of your body. Belly coming back towards the spine. Unflip your hands, coming back into all fours. Working just a little bit of core. We're going to do some balance. You can either do a 3-point balance if you're newer, or if you'd like to go ahead and do a 2-point balance, you can do that. So starting out, our right hand is going to plant down in front of our face. Our left heel is going to reach out long behind us. You can stay right here and practice your breath. If you'd like to do the 2-point balance, go ahead and reach your right arm up and out. Bicep along the ear, creating a long line of energy from your heel all the way out to your finger. Checking in with your hips to make sure they're level to the ground so you don't have one hip high or low. Keep yourself nice and level. Draw your belly button in towards your spine, keeping a nice flat back, maybe allowing you to reach in both directions a little bit further. As we're here, remember to work on keeping your inhales and your exhales at an equal length and smoothness. Inhale, lengthen and reach a little bit further. Let's do 3 more breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more inhale, fill all the way up. Exhale, release both hand and knee back down to the mat, coming into your all 4. Option to sit back on your seat if you need a little break. Always feel free to come into child's pose at any point during the practice whenever you want to break. If you aren't interested in the pose or if it doesn't feel good in your body. Coming back into all 4s, taking it to the opposite side. 3-point balance if you are new, just beginning, working on your balance. Right heel comes out and extends long, toes down towards the floor. Checking in with your hips to keep them nice and level. If you're adding in the arm, go ahead and reach out long, keeping the bicep right along the side of the ear. Drawing your belly button in and up. Inhale, love. Exhale, kindness. Inhale, reach a little bit in both directions, stretching out. Keeping your core in. Taking 3 more breaths together here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, fill all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hand and your knee back down to the earth. Allowing yourself to sit back towards your seat if you'd like a little break. Maybe roll out your wrists. Coming back up into our all 4s. Our knees are still underneath our hips, tops of our feet still connected to the mat. We're going to walk our hands out towards the top of our mat, allowing our chest to sink down towards the floor. Opening up our heart space just a little bit. Option to put your forehead on the mat, your chin on the mat if you have the flexibility or this variation in your practice. And if this simply feels like too much, you can also grab a block, a pillow, a blanket, and you can place it right underneath your chest and allow yourself to just rest here. So it's a little bit higher, and you can work your way down into this pose as you're ready, allowing your breath to guide you into it a little deeper. If you're feeling pretty open, another option you can do is you can tent your fingers to open up your arms a little bit differently. So maybe you try that. There's always so many different ways we can play within the body, opening it up. As you inhale, allow your tailbone to rise up towards the ceiling a little bit more. And as you exhale, sink your belly and your chest a little bit more into the mat. Wherever you're feeling the tension or the pull or the holding on, send your breath there with lots of love. And as you exhale, see if you can get those micro movements to surrender just a little. This is where we create the trust with our breath in our body. Giving yourself 4 more breaths, full inhales followed by your full exhales. Empty all the way out. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Allowing your next inhale to slowly begin walking yourself back up into your all fours. We're going to stay here for just a little bit yet, and I'm going to give you a couple different variations. We're moving into plank. Plank can be from your arms extended, hands underneath your shoulders, tucking your toes and rising right here. You can also do plank from your knees. If this is newer to you, this is a great place to start. We're keeping our core up into our belly button, so we're not arching our back inward, sagging down towards the floor. We're keeping everything nice and in line, almost as if there was a board on our back. You can also come down to your elbows, do the variation from right here, or you can pop your toes back up, lift your knees. Go ahead and pick your variation of plank. Inhaling, coming right into the variation that you choose. Allowing your inhale to create space, belly rises. Exhale, belly comes in and up towards your spine. Feels like a lot of core work, I'm sure. Allow yourself to take breaks if you need it. We're going to be here for 3 more breaths. Keeping your inhales and your exhales nice and smooth. Connecting back to those people you're dedicating your practice to or your intention for your practice tonight. On your next exhale, either push your hips towards the sky, coming into downward dog, or allow yourself to take a child's pose. If you're in your downward dog, you might want to pedal out your legs, your hamstrings, opening up the backs of the legs just a bit. Sending the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Maybe you have a bend in your knees so that you can melt your chest closer to the tops of your thighs. Allow your gaze to come up towards your belly button or looking down towards your feet. Feel all 4 corners of your hands rooted into the mat, slight bend in the elbows. Allow your neck and your shoulder to peel away from each other as you let your tailbone sink a little higher. Or you're just enjoying the very wonderful, relaxing, restorative child's pose, wherever you're at. Let's take 3 more inhales, 3 more exhales. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. On your last exhale, allow yourself to meet in downward dog if you're not already there. Inhale all the way up to your toes, and exhale, we're going to make our way towards the top of our mat, taking 1 or more steps to get there. Allow yourself to hang heavy right here. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, put a deep bend in your knee, let your chest rest on your thighs, and allow your elbows to go side to side, ragdoll. Pointing the crown of your head towards the earth, letting your top, upper spine, and neck really open and release here. Really use the support of your thighs to let your spine open as you inhale and exhale. Two more breaths. Release the hands back down to the floor. We're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra, one at a time, nice and slow. Allowing your head to be the last thing to come all the way up, rolling the shoulders down and back. All right, hi. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a mountain pose here. So ground down through your feet. Bringing them a little bit closer together, a little bit more narrow than hip distance. But they don't have to be completely touching. We're gonna push down into the floor, into the earth, as we also feel like our legs are pulling the floor apart. So really engage your legs, push down and out. Moving into your hips, tuck your tailbone and allow your belly to come in and up as you create space between your hip bones and your rib cage. So you're lengthening here. Draw your fingertips down towards the floor, shoulders coming down and away. Roll your shoulders back and open, shining your chest. And allow your head to be lengthened up towards the sky. Feeling how active this pose is. Your feet, your legs, your quads, your core, your arms, your fingers, your neck, your shoulder, everything is engaged here. So take a breath in, feel how active this pose is. Exhale, release. Let's do 3 more breaths. Keeping everything nice and engaged. Check in from the floor all the way up to your head. Activate every muscle in your body here. One more inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and let yourself kind of shake that off a little bit. Moving into just a simple forward fold. We can reach down, hands towards our toes, or as close to the floor as they get. Maybe you have blocks, props, something. If you'd like to have a variation on this, you can also take your right leg and cross it over your left. This is going to open up the sides of your legs and the one hamstring a little differently. So you decide if you want to do regular forward fold, just reaching down towards your toes. That might be a great place to start if this is newer to your practice. You feel pretty good further today, whatever that might be. Allow yourself to cross right over left. Exhale, fold forward, reaching down towards your toes, your shins, blocks, wherever your hands reach. Letting your head fall towards the earth. As you inhale, create space, and as you exhale, surrender a little bit more, allowing yourself to open as your body is ready. Connecting back into your belly, breathing. Inhale, belly inflates. Exhale, belly deflates. Take one more full inhale, whether you're in regular forward fold or cross-legged. Exhale. Inhaling, supporting your back, maybe your hands on the hips, rising back up, standing. Coming back to center. If you're doing the cross-legged, we still need to do the other side, so left is going to come over right. If you did the first variation of a regular forward fold, we're going to do it one more time. And what I want you to notice on the second round is how has your body opened from the first time to the second time just by using your breath. So go ahead and exhale, coming back down towards the floor, either for the first time on this other side or both legs, again, seeing where you can go, where you can find your edge again. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. No matter which variation you're in, if you'd like to modify a little bit or add something different, go ahead and clasp your hands right behind your back. Reach the hands up towards the sky and allow your hands to reach out over your head. And see how this opens your stretch up a little differently. Or you can keep your hands right where they are. Let's take 3 more breaths. As you inhale, really lengthen. As you exhale, find that space of surrender. One more full breath. If your hands are clasped, exhale, bring them back down to the floor or your hips and slowly allow yourself to rise back up to standing. Taking it nice and slow. When our head is below our heart, we can maybe sometimes get a little bit dizzy or disoriented. So if you need to go slow, take your time coming back up. Maybe you have a proper chair nearby if you feel like you need to use anything to help you on your way back up. Moving into a little bit of balance, we're going to place our right foot down on the floor and our left foot is going to come up against our right ankle. So this is our first variation of tree. So again, if you're new to yoga, just beginning into your balance, you're going to be right here. Hands can be at heart center. So your toe is gently resting on the mat up against your right ankle, opening up your hips and your knees. So your knee is going to draw back behind you. If you have tree in your practice, feel pretty good about your balance today. Maybe you move up to your calf muscle or bring your heel up into your inner right thigh. And align. Allow your gaze to focus on one center point in front of you, something that doesn't move. It'll help you keep your balance. Feeling all 4 corners of your foot rooted onto the mat. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Maybe your arms come up or out. Checking in with either your intention or whoever you dedicated your practice to, breathing in love, sending out kindness to them. On your next exhale, bring hands back to heart center. If they're not already, release your foot, bringing both feet down to the mat. Pedal it out. And ground down through your left. Right heel coming into the left ankle. If you're starting out here, remember to open your knee to the back of the mat. Or you can go ahead and bring your foot to your calf muscle, or your left heel can come all the way, or your right heel, sorry, can come all the way up into your left inner thigh. Drawing your core in and up, lengthening through your chest. Hands can stay at heart center, or you can go ahead and rise your branches out. Again, finding your one focal point for your gaze to help you with your balance here. Inhaling into your belly, exhale, draw your belly button into your spine. Taking 3 more full smooth inhales and 3 more full smooth exhales. Your third and final exhale, hands will come back to heart center if they're not there, and release your right foot back down to the mat. Walking both feet out past hip distance. into a wide leg, forward fold. We're going to open up the backs of our legs just a little bit more. Allow your toes to turn slightly inward just to help you with your balance. And place your hands on your hips. Draw your shoulders back. And as you exhale, allow yourself to hinge forward at your hips, keeping yourself nice and flat. When you get to your halfway point, your hands might come to meet the earth as you find yourself in your forward fold here. You can keep your hands front and center. Or if you'd like, you can wrap your hands right behind your ankles, pulling yourself down towards the earth a little bit more, putting a bend in your elbows. Sending your breath to the backs of your thighs to let them surrender and release. Inhale to lengthen and exhale as you create trust. Surrender just a micro movement further. Allow your breath to keep opening you up, breathing deep into your belly. Exhale, cleanse it all out. Maybe you add an HA sound. Two more breaths. Walk your hands back to the center. Doing a little bit of a twist before we head out here. Place your right hand right down in front of your face. And as you exhale, open your right hand up towards the sky. Breathing into your right side rib cage. Two more breaths. Exhale, release your hand, left hand coming down, replacing where the right was. Inhale, right arm comes up to the sky. Two more. Inhale, full opening of your left side body. Right hand reaches, exhale, surrender. On your second exhale, both hands come back to the mat. Heel toe your feet into just about the width of your mat. Toes pointing out towards the edges. Allow your tailbone to sink down towards the mat. Coming into just a little bit of a squat pose here. Your hips are really tight. You might be up here a little bit more. Placing your hands at heart center. Allow your body to open as you're ready. If you have any knee issues or anything that causes you challenges, you might take a block or a prop and stick it in between your knees to give you a little bit of support while you're sitting right here. So like this. Or maybe you bring your block right underneath your tailbone and you allow yourself to sit right here if you want a little bit more restorative. Or no block, and allow your tailbone to sink down towards, on your elbows to push your knees out. Connecting back to your belly breath, your intention, or whoever you dedicated your practice to tonight. Breathing in love, and exhaling kindness. Take one more full breath. And as you exhale, allow your seat to come to the mat. We're moving into a reverse tabletop here. So your feet are going to be hip distance on the mat, just a little ways out in front of you. Your fingertips are going to be pointing towards the top of your mat. Arms right behind you underneath your shoulders. And from here, we're going to inhale, pushing down through our heels. Our tailbone and our hips are going to rise up towards the ceiling, and we're going to create a tabletop. Head can come all the way back, chin pointing up towards the ceiling if you'd like, or you can keep your chin tucked into your chest. If your hips are a little bit lower, keep breathing and see if you can bring them up little by little. If this is new to you in your practice, take your time getting up to this full extension. Inhale, your belly rises. Exhale, belly comes back towards your spine. Let's take 3 more breaths, or if you need to take a break, go ahead and come back down. As you inhale, maybe your hips come a little bit higher towards the sky. Exhale, hold, hold, hold. Release. 1 more. On your exhale, sink your hips back down towards the mat, wrapping your hands around your knees, giving yourself a little squeeze here. At a time where hugs are not completely accessible to everybody, go ahead and feel free to give yourself a hug. Or if you have that person that you're dedicating this to, imagine that you're giving them this big hug and sending it out to them energetically. Inhaling, opening back up, hands behind you 1 more time. Feet hip distance apart. We're going to take 1 more round of this tabletop just for practice. If you'd like to change the variation or try something a little bit different, send your heels out long towards the bottom of the mat, keeping your toes connected. We're going to lift up our hips once again, and we're going to do a reverse plank this time. So option to try the reverse plank, or if you're still working on your tabletop, your reverse tabletop, totally perfect. You decide where you want to go. Keeping the hips lifted. Let's just do 3 more breaths. Your third exhale, your seat comes back down to the earth. If your legs are not already stretched out, bring both heels towards the outer corners of the mat, nice and long. Allow that. Flip your palms facing up to receive. Setting up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Wiggle yourself out, releasing any tension that you might still be holding from your practice, anything that feels a little bit tight or grippy or sticky. As you sink into the mat, allow your eyes to come back to that closed position. Tuning in with your breathing, connecting your breath to your belly. Feeling what it's like to be back in this stillness space. Doing a quick little body scan from your toes all the way up your body to the top of your head. Just to notice what you notice about your body. Breathing any air into the areas that still need to be surrendered or let go. Allowing your inhales to see your belly rise, and your exhales to watch your belly fall. Allowing your tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth, maybe gently parting your lips, relaxing your eyebrows and your forehead, softening your cheekbones and your jaw. Allow yourself to come into full rest and full surrender. Staying focused on your breath, your intention, or your person. Allow yourself to be at rest and at peace. And for the next few minutes, we'll be here. My voice will bring you back out of this pose, and we will go ahead and close out our practice. So in the meantime, allow yourself to just continue sinking into this surrendered space. Begin to deepen your breath back into your belly. Bringing some movement into your toes and into your fingertips, gently waking the body back up into the space. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead, feet long down below. Take a full body stretch. And when you're ready, draw your knees into your chest, rolling to either your left or your right side, coming into fetal position. Allowing your head to rest gently on your one arm. Eyes can still be closed. Allow yourself to integrate your practice today into your body. Take one more moment to send that loving kindness out to whoever you dedicated your practice to, even if it was yourself. And as you're ready, begin to push yourself up into seated. Drawing your hands to come into prayer at heart center. Eyes can still be closed if you'd like, or maybe they're open. As we close out today's practice, just a gentle reminder to be patient, to be kind, and to be loved. There's so many of us right now that are going through so much change. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of our practice this evening, for a lot of people, it's grief and it's loss of what's normal, loss of a job, loss of a loved one. And as we're all processing this change, this massive change that's going on, I just want to leave you with be patient, be kind, and be loved. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in you. And thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Namaste. All right. Hello. If you would like to go ahead and pop anything into the comments, feel free to let me know how you are doing after your practice, what your intention was, or anything that's coming up for you. If you do have to jump off, I totally understand, and I thank you for being here. And also, class for tomorrow will be live streamed right here again at 5 p.m. Central, so 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific time. So if you'd like to come back for some more yoga, please feel free. Invite some friends, some family, anyone who can use some breath relaxation and just some yoga goodness right now. And also feel free to like my, subscribe to my channel here so that you can get updates on when more future classes are coming. All right, I will see you very soon. Have an amazing evening and take care.